My evening walks along the beach had become routine, steady, and comforting, that my dog and I shared almost every day. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, the horizon filled with soft streaks of orange and pink, the kind that made the whole shoreline look like a painting slowly coming to life. It was around 6 in the evening, cool but pleasant, with a light breeze carrying the familiar smell of salt water and damp sand. Buddy trotted beside me, leash loose, tail swaying lazily. Without warning, he stopped. His ears snapped upright, his body stiffened. Before I could react, he bolted straight into a thick patch of bushes lining the edge of the beach. "Buddy," I called, surprised but not immediately alarmed. He had a habit of chasing smells and usually came right back. But minutes passed. 5 of them. The breeze felt colder now. The sound of the waves seemed farther away. Concern settled deep in my chest, so I stepped off the sand and pushed into the bushes after him. The foliage was dense, branches scratching at my arms as the fading light made everything blurred together in shadow. I called his name again, sharper this time, my voice echoing awkwardly through the brush. Then I heard it, a bark low, steady, and urgent. My heart began to race. That wasn't his playful bark. Something was wrong. I followed the sound, forcing my way through tangled branches until the bushes finally opened up. Buddy stood a few yards ahead, rigid, barking furiously at something in front of him. A man. He was tall, broad, dressed completely in black dark pants, heavy jacket, wide-brimmed hat. Sunglasses covered his eyes, even though the sun was nearly gone, and a mask concealed the lower half of his face. He looked more like a silhouette than a person, frozen against the dim evening light. Behind him sat a massive duffel bag, bulging unnaturally, sagging under its own weight. He didn't move as I stepped closer. Slowly, deliberately, he turned his head toward me. Even with his eyes hidden, I could feel his stare. Buddy positioned himself between us, teeth bared, barking louder than I had ever heard him bark before. The silence between us was thick and natural. I felt it crawl along my spine. The man said nothing, just stood there, unmoving. My instincts screamed at me to leave, but my feet felt rooted to the ground. Questions raced through my head. Why was he dressed like that? Why was he carrying such a heavy bag? Why here? I swallowed hard and tried to call Buddy back. "Buddy, come here." He didn't even glance at me. The man shifted slightly, his hand drifting toward the duffel bag. That was when I noticed just how thick it was. Not a casual beach bag, but something built to carry serious weight. The kind used for tools, or worse. The waves behind us faded into silence. Even the wind seemed to stop. He took one step closer. My chest tightened. Is there a problem? I managed. He didn't answer. Instead, he slowly crouched down, never breaking eye contact, his hand slipping inside the bag. I couldn't move. Fear and curiosity locked me in place. Buddy growled deep and vicious. The man paused. Then he spoke, his voice low and rough. "You should get that dog under control." I forced myself to breathe. "Buddy, come here." He glanced at me briefly, then turned back to the man, standing firm. The man straightened, looming taller now. "You're out here alone, aren't you?" The question landed like a threat. "I'm just walking my dog," I said, my voice barely steady. His mouth twisted beneath the mask. Funny place to be alone. Behind him, the duffel bag shifted slightly. My blood ran cold. Suddenly, his phone rang. The sound shattered the tension. He pulled it out, turning slightly away. As he did, his sunglasses slipped just enough for me to see his eyes. Calculating, cold, he answered quietly. "Yeah." I caught fragments of the conversations. Deliver, location. Whatever he was doing, it wasn't harmless. While he was distracted, I crouched and grabbed Buddy's collar, whispering urgently, "Come on now." The man ended the call and looked back at me. "Going somewhere?" I was just leaving," I said. He chuckled softly. "Oh, you haven't interrupted anything yet?" He stepped forward. Buddy lunged. A deep, feral snarl erupted from his chest, teeth flashing inches from the man's leg. The man froze, clearly startled. That was my chance. I pulled Buddy back and retreated, step by step, never turning my back. The man didn't follow, but his gaze burned into me. As we reached the edge of the bushes, I heard it. A sound from the bag, muffled, weak, like a cry. I didn't stop. I didn't turn around. We burst back onto the open beach, where a few people still lingered, packing up for the night. Relief flooded through me so hard, my knees nearly buckled. The man was gone. I hurried to the parking lot, hands shaking as I dialed 911 and told them everything. When I finally sat beside my car, Buddy pressed against me, tail wagging gently. I buried my face in his fur, overwhelmed with gratitude. Without him, I don't think I would have walked away. Even now, I can't forget the man's eyes or the sound that came from that bag. And I'm left with one question that still keeps me awake at night.